Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. Today we're going to be making beeswax wraps. These wraps are great for reusing and they're perfect for wrapping up little foods. The size that you have in your kit is a handkerchief size, so it's perfect for wrapping up things like cut up vegetables as well as sandwiches. Before we begin, I just want to mention that if you've ever used beeswax wraps before, usually there is a stickiness to them, and we do not have the ingredients for the stickiness portion only because it's a little bit more difficult in using a double boiler. So we're not going to be doing that method today, but we're going to be doing a more simplistic one. If you would like to do the more difficult one, you would need items like jojoba oil and pine resin, which can both be found on Amazon. And you can also just Google the project to make this difficult method. But going back to the simple method, we're going to be using just beeswax pellets, our oven, and just a pan and parchment paper, along with the handkerchief that we gave you in the kit. Also, I want to mention that the handkerchief is plain white. So we are going to be, actually I did this on my own, where I just did a tie-dye of the handkerchief to make it look prettier. So I'm going to just show you the difference. This is an example of just the white, and you could, I don't know if you could kind of see, but it's very yellow. And then what I'm going to be using instead of just the white is this handkerchief that I tie-dyed with the one-step tulip tie-dye. So we put instructions of the tie-dye method in your kit, but you will have to get all of the tie-dye materials yourself. So with that said, let's get started. You're going to start with a piece of parchment paper on a pan, preferably a pan that you don't really care about too much. You don't want a new pan, but we'll do this with the parchment paper on top. And then I just want to share that in my first try, I tried to do the whole handkerchief at once, but it didn't work because I didn't get the edges due to the fact that my pan is a smaller size as the handkerchief. The handkerchief is a lot bigger. So what I'm going to try and do now is do half of the handkerchief and then put it in the oven and then stick it back on with the other side, and we're going to put it back in the oven. So I have half of my handkerchief on the parchment paper, and you should have received about 2 tablespoons of beeswax in your kit. Using these beeswax pellets, we're going to put about half of what's in your kit onto the handkerchief and just sprinkle it all over, even to the ends. In these images, I wrapped my sandwich up just like a gift, and it stayed fresh all day. To clean reusable wraps, wash in cool water with a mild detergent and a sponge or soft brush and leave to dry. The wraps will take on a creased look over time. You can quickly refresh your beeswax wraps if you wish by returning them to the oven and remelting the wax. Hope you had fun with this.